Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Metcalf's Movie Journal. This is the show where I do quick reviews for the movies that I watch, give them a score out of 10, and then add them to my list. So let's see what movie we're reviewing today. On February 11th, I watched Solitary Man, which came out in 2009. And this was truly an inspiring and tragic tale of one Ben Calman, played by Michael Douglas, who, when forced to face his own mortality in the form of a terminal case of cancer, decides to lean hard into denial, divorces his wife without even telling her he's sick, and just tries to sleep with as many beautiful young women as he can before he dies. Epic. Sometimes you can tell when an actor is famous enough that he actually gets to pick his own roles, and I think I'm beginning to pick up on a trend in the characters Michael Douglas likes to portray. Remember, this is the man with probably the most famous excuse for mouth cancer in history. In the end, though, I don't think he's an inspiring character at all. That was quite sarcastic in case you missed it. In reality, there isn't anything at all redeeming about the character of Ben, and it's easily the biggest downfall of this movie. He's a proven liar that was found guilty of defrauding a bunch of people with a shady car dealership. He's a neglectful grandparent and parent that can't show up to his grandkid's birthday party or have a normal conversation with his daughter. And in general, he places no value at all on any real emotional connections, whether it's with his family or the countless women he continues to sleep with. The point of this movie seems to be that some people just don't change, which is a fair enough point to make. Some people don't change. But inherently, it just makes for a boring movie idea. I don't want to sit around and literally watch nothing happen. Not that every movie needs to be about a character undergoing some big personal change or growth, but usually if the protagonist is this unflinchingly stubborn in their beliefs, it's because they're fighting for a just cause, and the movie can then be about them trying to change the views of those around them through actions or powerful speeches. Solitary Man does try to paint Ben as an understandable character, using some pretty sleazy monologues, and he even tries to help Jesse Eisenberg's usual nervous kid character learn how to hit on women, but he can never be seen as any sort of hero. The movie consistently tries to persuade the audience maybe not to agree with Ben, but to at least forgive him, but I can't get on board with that message in the least, because to me, it only ever came across as a man clearly in denial about his disease, and there is simply no excuse for the way he's treating the people around him, especially since it's been established that he was already moving down this path even before the diagnosis. I've pretty much used this entire review just to bash one character, but in the end that's all this movie was. A 90-minute dive into one man's self-centered death spiral, into more and more childish, boorish behavior, all beautifully articulated by the ever-talented Michael Douglas. He really does make an otherwise terrible movie easier to watch. The worst part of this movie is definitely the borderline justification for Ben's character, and the only real positive to speak of is finally getting to see Jenna Fischer in a movie as the disappointed daughter Susan. And Danny DeVito also has a pleasant enough appearance as the friend Jimmy, even though there's not really a clear explanation as to why such a nice guy would still be friends with such a prick, other than he's just that nice of a guy. Susan Sarandon rounds out the supporting cast nicely as the ex-wife, who again is way too kind to this horrible man, and basically just acts as a soundboard for Ben to monologue at. It all leads up to one of those blatantly choose-your-own-adventure style endings, purposely not showing the audience the critical last-second decision, and leaving it instead up to the viewer's opinions. It's a complete cop-out in my opinion. At least write an ending. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 10, and it landed at number 1186 on my list, putting it here. In between The Faculty and Waiting. And again, thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching another edition of Metcalf's Movie Journal. Be sure to click like and subscribe for new videos every week. And if you got something you really want me to watch, be sure to drop me a comment.